Welcome back to the channel, Jaden Chase. Now if you're new, remember to like, to share, and also to subscribe. Now, these charges brought against Leota Bradshaw, one of the baby mothers of Phillip Paulwell, puts her up there in rank with some of the wickedest Jamaican criminals we have ever heard of. Taking the life of her mother and her daughter out of jealousy, immediately booking a flight to Jamaica with the intentions of taking the lady's life and her baby's life, a day after hearing about the birth of the child. Not a day after the child was born, but a day after she heard the news that a baby was here on the earth and Paulwell was the father. Now, of course, I'm going to hear what going, and then we'll continue reason. Nation wanting to look, and of course, wanting to listen.
There are major developments this afternoon in the disappearance of the mother of East Kingston and Port Royal MP Phillip Paulwell's 10-month-old daughter, Soraya. Well, into the disappearance of the 10-month-old daughter of MP Phillip Paulwell and her mother, China Patterson. Here are the developments in this fast-moving story which has gripped public attention. 1. Nationwide News understands the police are at this hour at a location in the foothills of the Warwick Hills in East Kingston as they probe the disappearance of 10-month-old Soraya Paulwell and her 27-year-old mother, China Patterson. Warwick Hills are located in Mr. Paulwell's constituency of East Kingston and Port Royal.
2. Our sources say the police have found burnt human remains at the location.
3. They were led to the location by one of the 2 male suspects they've been interrogating since Wednesday.
4. They're now trying to establish whether the remains are those of baby Soraya Paulwell and Miss Patterson.
And 5. It's also understood they've taken into custody a 4th suspect as they make rapid progress in their investigations.
Meanwhile, the police say there's strong evidence to charge Leota Bradshaw in connection with the disappearance of the 10-month-old daughter of the MP for East Kingston and Port Royal, Phillip Paulwell, and her mother. That's according to Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of crime, Fitz Bailey. After being transferred across 3 holding facilities between Thursday evening and Friday morning, Miss Bradshaw is being held at the Halfway Tree Police Station, where she's set to be interrogated by investigators. Norgay Banton has that story.
Miss Bradshaw is the prime suspect in the disappearance of 27-year-old China Patterson and her daughter Soraya Paulwell. While charges have yet to be laid, DCP Bailey says the evidence against Miss Bradshaw is compelling.
We think, in particular with Miss Bradshaw, we have evidence that we could advance a case at this time. But we want to ensure that we cross every T and dot every I. And so there are a number of things that are ongoing. And so we want to ensure that those have come to a conclusion before we proceed with the formal charging of her.
Miss Patterson and little Soraya Paulwell were last seen at their Gilmore Drive, Kingston 20 home on the morning of September 9. Miss Bradshaw is 34 years old. She's a petty officer in the U.S. Navy and shares a child with Phillip Paulwell. DCP Bailey says the matter is being treated as a case of kidnapping with potential charges of conspiracy to murder.
Regarding the disappearance of Miss China Patterson and her 10-month-old child, Soraya Paulwell, from their home at 3 Gilmore Drive, Kingston 20. Since then, this investigation has morphed into a very complex case of kidnapping and conspiracy. Well, we are looking at a case of kidnapping. We are looking at a case of conspiracy to murder and other charges that will flow from that.
DCP Bailey is urging anyone with information that can help investigators to come forward. However, he says he's confident the evidence gathered so far will stand up to scrutiny in a court of law.
I'm convinced that we are on the right track. I'm convinced about the quality of evidence and the potency of the evidence. I am convinced when I look at the material that the evidence that we have garnered so far is very strong and very can stand up to any scrutiny in any court of law.
Now, also making headlines today. It is said that a man who is the reputed area leader of a part of jungle, life has been taken, which has prompted law enforcement to issue a curfew along sections of the community, fearing reprisal attacks. Even though with the Voicenote we are circulating, it seems as if the person who took this individual's life was somebody who he knew quite well, somebody inside of his circle. Now these are speculations. Let me continue what I want to do, and then we'll continue the reason. Look and listen.
For the police do it to do so bad, but the boy them calling a bubble. We're there on the man, pirate the man. The man save our bubble life from Dula and bust him up last year for Dula dead. And the man beg Dula and bust him up. You know, last year when him fit, you see it? And you see it? Police come kill Dula. And him not dead. See it, him come kill Ichipang now. Boy him begs, kill the man, brother. Dick suck pussy begs. You can't stay there. After I'm there with all the man anti-charm. Charm got dead too. Can't stay there, yeah? Sell out and nephew. Dick suck cocky charm.
We have heard this scenario many times before. Friends turn enemies. Individuals who, quote unquote, were on the same page, in the same criminal syndicate. We see it take place in Spanish Town. We can name the communities. Something similar like that take place in West Kingston. Similar yet different. It's like something we always see in our criminal organizations. We don't know what normally lead to it, but normally when there's going to be a divide where one entity is now going to become two separate entities, we normally see something like this take place. And then we have is one side of the community signing with one individual, and maybe one side of the community signing with somebody else. We don't know. Maybe the entire community sides against this individual and say, boy, you should have not done what you did. We don't know. We don't know what lead to this. Only people in the community we don't know. However, the state is preparing for reprisals. This happened on Saturday. And it was feared that between Sunday and Monday, being like a Heroes Day holiday weekend, if any events were to be held, any gatherings of any kind, it is feared by the state that there would be reprisal shootings at any of these type of gatherings. Hence why they are saying curfews are being put in place. Youth them now go to school. It's a holiday. Monday gonna be a public holiday. You see me? Sunday, of course, you have people work on Sunday, but still like a holiday weekend. So gatherings, no doubt, gatherings were planned to take place. But based upon what take place, no, the status and none of that. And this is the impact of crime and violence upon communities that people not see. The impact of crime and violence on the community is people can't go to and from to do them business. The economy of the community is impacted, along with numerous other things. And these are things that people not too readily think about, or think about crime and violence that take place in the community. But it affects these things as well. Talk to me in the comment section. If you're new to the channel, let's pass through. Click the subscribe icon, then the bell icon, and of course, put it on all. And this is how you know will be notified of all fresh content as soon as fresh content is uploaded and made available for you right here upon the platform. The like icon is also in close proximity to the share icon. Drop a like and bust a share. Tell a friend, tell them sister and them brother them for check out the channel, check out the reason, and also join the discussion. The comment section 24/7. It never lack it. Just be respectful and mindful of the guidelines. Rather than that, drop your thoughts, your comments, and yes, your opinions there. We can continue the reasoning via the comment section. Now onto the reason again, but before a quick recap. Paulwell murder case puts Bradshaw up there with some of the wickedest Jamaican criminals we've ever seen. And the reputed area leader for jungle, life has been taken, which has prompted the state to impose curfews in jungle to prevent any reprisal shootings. Now, the reason again, my sentiments for you and yours are for to live, love, and prosper, and for to stay tuned.